How the clean desk policy could shift your focus and change your life. Have you heard the phrase, clean desk, clean mind? Well, there's much more to it. A clean desk, and not just desk, means a healthier, better life. Do you often find yourself frustrated, going through a pile of items, looking for that particular one that was just there? Have you spent ages in front of the closet, looking for the perfect thing to wear, but it seems like you have nothing? Have you impulse bought something that was lying in the packaging for weeks? If so, you probably just have too much stuff, or too much on your mind, or both, as those two problems usually go together. If that generates frustration, nervousness, anxiety, you're probably looking for a way out. With numerous magical solutions that have sprung up in recent years, it can be hard to decide which one will actually work. But the answer is delightfully simple: minimalism. Why should you need to employ elaborate strategies if you want to live more simply? Don't get crushed under the weight of your things and your thoughts. In this day and age, with everything in abundance, it's easy to just get cluttered. Not just in your closet, not just on your desk, but also in your life. This simple yet effective toolbox of solutions will help you get back that inner peace you want so badly. From your living room, your kitchen, your food, clothes, and work to traveling and everything surrounding you, minimalism is always the right answer. Art, fashion, architecture, they all have adopted the mindset of less is more, and so should you. Thanks to minimalism, you will discover the actual definition of minimalism to avoid misconceptions, what causes us to keep getting more and more things, how to declutter your whole life without wasting your time, 8 common mistakes made by beginners that you'll be able to avoid, a short and manageable routine that will make you a master of minimalism, why and how minimalism goes hand in hand with health, how to help others simplify their lives as well, and much more. Don't be mistaken, changing your habits is a process. It will take time, work, and effort. But once you have committed to living a minimal life, you will realize why it's so important. According to the LA Times and NPR, the average American household has 300,000 items in it today, and the average size of the American home has nearly tripled over the past 50 years. Yet, you have to pay a high price to carry this unbearable heaviness of possessions. Research has shown a cluttered home is a stressful home that negatively affects your health. The evidence is clear: the more you own, the higher the negative impact on your mental well-being. Stop getting sucked into the never-ending spiral of having and needing more and more to compensate for real joy and happiness in life. Become the master of having less, all while becoming more. Free your mind and enjoy a simpler life. Introduction. Have you ever wondered how complex your life has become? In between waking up and going to sleep, you try to do numerous tasks. For each task, you perform several steps and use different tools, yet you feel stressed out no matter how many tasks you've accomplished. What's the point of living that way? You further get stuff and do more activities with the hopes that they'll relieve your stress. Instead of relief, those additional stuff and activities just end up as a source of new burdens. Right now, what you need to do is recognize that your lifestyle is problematic, reduce the complexity. This book entitled Minimalism will show you how. The term minimalism is often associated with interiors that only have a few unadorned things. It's also a style used to design different products. It seems like a buzzword these days. There are many articles and books about it. Celebrities also attest to it. The hype may feel too much. As such, it's normal to have doubts on its efficiency. If you're curious about its usefulness, try answering the following questions. Do you often spend more than a minute looking for keys, glasses, or other items you regularly use? Have you ever misplaced an important document? Does the idea of losing an item in your collection stress you so much? Have you ever wanted to sit or sleep so badly but pillows or any other clutter got in your way? Do you feel anxious when someone is about to visit your home and see the mess they're in? Have you ever paid for an early replacement because you lost or damaged the original thing? Do you usually worry about missing out on that popular health supplement or personal care product? Have you ever wanted to relax, but cleaning took much of your time and energy? If you say yes to any of the above-mentioned questions, you're going to benefit from reading this book. Decluttering and organizing tips are included inside. More importantly, you get to try a different lifestyle, minimalism. In essence, minimalism is about having less, using less, and doing less. Aside from designing, it can also be applied to activities like shopping, traveling, and working out. Basically, it's both a lifestyle and a mindset. In this book, you'll learn what the concept really is. This sheds light on common misconceptions as well. You have to know that it involves decluttering. But it's not entirely about eliminating things. In the first chapter, you'll discover why you have those clutter anyway. Being a minimalist is beneficial in many ways. As expounded on in the second chapter, a clutter-free environment can have calming effects. It's a no-brainer that buying less will save you time and energy. Maintaining fewer things and doing fewer chores are time-saving as well. These are just some of the direct and obvious advantages. The more significant ones are further discussed in the book. The majority of the remaining chapters present practical applications of minimalism. What better way to start it off than decluttering your home? Chapter 3 will help you get rid of the clutter in your home and workplace. Meanwhile, the succeeding chapter will guide you on simplifying your day-to-day activities. More often than not, you're already aware of the things and activities that don't add value to your life. However, you find it hard to part with them because you've grown attached to them. It's also difficult to change your routines because you got used to them. With chapters 3 and 4, you're encouraged to declutter and simplify by focusing on one area at a time. This tends to be faster and more efficient. Chapter 5 focuses on how a minimalist manages personal finances. It mainly involves investing wisely, listing your sources of income, tracking your expenses and earnings, and budgeting. It shouldn't be that difficult if you're solely focused on those. But if you have debt, or if you're a terrible shopper, you may wonder if there's a simpler way of dealing with your money matters. The short answer is yes. The next chapter brings you back to eliminating clutter, specifically the mental kind. While reading this, you may already be thinking of your unmade bed, disorganized desk, or fully equipped kitchen. Perhaps you're contemplating on something irrelevant to the topic. Those distractions are a form of mental clutter. With Chapter 6, you'll learn how to avoid distractions by practicing mindfulness. Aside from mental health, your physical health will also benefit from this book. Chapter 7 puts the spotlight on attaining and maintaining good health as a minimalist. Yes, it's possible to simplify food preparation, diet, and workout in pursuit of a better well-being. It's also doable and advisable to streamline your night and morning routines. For the wanderlust in you, Chapter 8 is bound to be the most exciting part of this book. In addition to interior design, minimalism is also a popular concept in the traveling community. It encourages bringing fewer items for travels after all. If you're packing a lot of things to make your trip comfier, it might be better for you to just stay at home. With the guide on minimalist travel, you'll get to know more benefits and practices to carry it out. Simplifying your life is easier said than done. What sets this book apart from others is that it recognizes the pitfalls that beginners often make. It doesn't stop with identifying the common mistakes. This book also discusses the ways to avoid and correct those errors. The final chapter imparts you with a 30-day challenge to mastering minimalist habits. It begins with simple tasks like cleaning your bag, desk, and nightstand. There are also relatively tough ones such as reducing your beloved collection and detaching an old family portrait on your wall. It's never too late to shift from being a hoarder to being a minimalist. However, don't wait until you've spent a lot of money and grown so attached to your material possessions before you make the necessary changes in your life. Reclaim control over your life right now. By doing so, you minimize the regrets you're bound to feel later on. This book isn't the first to discuss minimalism. However, it specializes on providing a detailed guide on simplifying numerous tasks. More importantly, it helps you recognize the essentials and non-essentials in your life. By knowing what your values and priorities are, you're more likely to live a more fulfilling and more prosperous life. Are you ready to set yourself free from clutter? Are you ready to live with less and live more?